two, one.
Yo, what's happening, guys? Yo, 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 yo. Still waiting for a couple of hundred to come through the room. How are we doing? Say what's up in the chat. Say hello, hello, hello. How are we doing, everyone? Let's see, let's see. What's up? What's up? What's up? How are we doing, Mario? Yes, Gareth. Yes, yes, yes. What's up, love? I see love over there in the house. What's up? Where we from, guys? Where we from? Pop in the chat. Where are you from? We're still waiting for a bit more people to join the stream over here. We got Brackban in the house. Oh, South Africa. Amazing. Mario, that's fantastic, bro. I used to stay very close there. We got Chicago in the house. We got Bali in the house. We got China in the house. California, Ireland, Kenya. Wow, guys, one thing we can say about crypto is like, look at the different amounts of people, from all over the world. And this is what I love about crypto very much. I love that it brings everyone together. We've got San Diego in the house, Switzerland in the house. We've got to go back to Switzerland. That was a good time. Toronto, UK, Ireland, Abu Dhabi, Finland. Amazing. Sweden, Miami, Cape Town, what's up? Canada, Lisbon, Montreal, Costa Rica, Pretoria. Nice to have a couple South Africans here today. What's up? What's up? What's up? Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Thailand, Italy, Austin. Amazing, guys. How are we doing? Are we ready for a damn pump? And the market is ready for a pump. I'll speak a little bit. I'll give you guys a little bit of a market update as well. We are going into market open now as well. But it's time for a pump, right? It's definitely time for a pump. Guys, I want to welcome you to the first official event. You had the welcome events. Now it is time for us to really unravel the course and to bring you guys extra content and to kind of put a lot into like bring it all together, right? That's the important thing here is you're learning everything, but it's important to put it together, understand why you're actually here and what lifestyle you are joining. My whole journey here was quite crazy. Who has actually only started, let's say, watching crypto bands for the first time, let's say in the last 3 months? Can you pop a one in the chat? I want to get a bit of a feel. If you've been watching for more than, let's say, 6 months, pop a two in the chat. Who's just recently been watching? And let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. And pop a three in the chat if you've done school before. Let's see, let's see. A lot of threes. Oh, you come back for more, baby. You come back for more. I like it, I like it, I like it. Lots of ones, lots of twos, lots of threes. Guys, for a quick intro for those who are ones, you obviously see us doing the shows every day. I'm here, I'm teaching, I'm pouring my heart out with education because for me, this is the number one thing that I love to do, and crypto changed my life. I'm one of those stories where I wasn't much without crypto. Was stuck in a factory, was doing carpentry a couple of years back. They never wanted to work for a boss and always wanted to do something different. I had parents that had me very young, and they never really got to really achieve their dreams until now. Me and my mom just had lunch 2 hours ago, and we sat and we looked at each other's eyes. We're like, "We made it, mom." We're sitting here in Cape Town now. We've got the whole family and friends here, and we had a very big realization moment that so much has happened. But growing up, they had to work a lot, and just make they couldn't get further education. I think both my parents dropped out of school. My mom had me at 16. My dad was 17 at the time. So I sat and I watched my parents work really, really, really hard. And and it's quite a tough world out there. If you don't know someone or you don't get in at the right place, it's really hard to build your way up a ladder. And I saw how hard they worked and how they put everything in. And I made a very big promise to myself that I really want to do something great one day, and I'd really love to just give my parents the life that they deserve. That was always a very big thing for me. So I never went the natural route. I dropped out of college 2, 3 times. I tried the education system. It was just they were training me to go work a job, and I just couldn't do it, right? So I started with little businesses, and I tried a little sandblasting business, and then I tried a little carpentry business, and they ran okay in the beginning, made a little bit of money, and then they failed. And I learned a lot throughout those times. But basically, really trying to make my way through. And, after around about 2, 3 years of failing with businesses, I got into this crypto event that I was invited to. And it looked amazing. They were telling me this coin is going to be backed by gold. This was my introduction to crypto. And I kind of fell in love with it. And I didn't know what MLM or Ponzi's were or whatever at the time. But basically, you start telling people about it, you get people in, you get rewarded for it, you get these coins, and it was amazing. For me, it was, I started earning, I think, around $1,000 or $2,000, which was a lot for me at that time. And at the time, I had a small little carpentry business with 2 staff, and I had my little truck, or bucky is what we call it in South Africa. And when this started to happen, there was a little bit of a spark in my eye where I was like, whoa, like this can really help my family, right? This can do something incredible. And I decided to go all in. I decided to sell off my car. I closed the business. I sold off all my tools, and I went all in on this coin. And long story short, I started earning $2,000, $3,000 a month, which was so much for me at the time. And this was the first month, 2 months, and then what happened was the one day the exchange froze, and basically the people behind it took all the Bitcoin and they took all the liquidity out of the exchange, and I basically lost everything overnight. And it really it destroyed me mentally very much because now I had no car. It's very hard to get a job in South Africa, especially young coming through now. It's not easy anymore. I didn't have any work. I didn't have a car. Luckily, about 3 weeks before that, I had a laptop that someone bought for me because I helped them buy Bitcoin. And out of appreciation, they bought me a smaller laptop. And we actually still have it. I'd love my mom to actually, I actually want to see it again. I know she's got it in the cupboard there. And I basically found out about this whole Bitcoin thing, and I was like, what is this? The main thing for me was it never sleeps, right? 24/7. So I was so desperate. I was at the point where, my dad just lost a lot of his job. It was COVID time. My mom's business was shutting down because of COVID, and all of these things were happening, and I was lost. I was like, I don't know what the hell to do. I was very, very depressed and very felt defeated. And, the only bit of hope that I had was, what? Crypto doesn't sleep. If I put my all, if I stay up every night, like I can make it. I can try make. I just moved into a little house, didn't have money for it for rent for nothing, and I started my trading journey. And on that journey, I started about 5 days. I think it's 5 or 10 days before COVID. Okay, before the main, because it was just at that time this was the original start, and within that, the crash happened, and I got addicted to this leverage, right? Leverage was the first way that I'm going to go all in. I'm going to do all these specific things. And it was during that time within COVID where the market started crashing. And that was my whole introduction. I remember Bitcoin was 10,000, and then it dropped to like 4,000. I just got scammed for everything. And I started sitting every day trading this leverage, and I would make some money, and then I would lose it all. And then I'd make some money and lose it all. And I got so depressed, and I was sleeping next to my laptop, and I had this thing next to me every single night. And I was basically making money and then giving it all back to the market, and making money and giving it all back. And then I'd fight with myself because I gave that money back where I could have really used the money. But when I was making the money, I was like, it's going to be more. It's going to 3 times. It's going to 10 times. It's going to do these things. And my emotions was just a wreck. And if you guys know leverage is like 10 times more emotions, right? So the moment I started making the money that I could use to pay rent, I would think, oh, it's going to make me 6 months of rent. And I'd hold the trade. And then 2 days later, there'll be a massive candle, wipe me completely. And then I'd regret and be very angry with myself that I never used that money. Right? And I basically went through this massive yo-yo. And during that time, I finally got a bit defeated, and I was basically desperate, and I was down. I think I had around $200, $300, and I was down to this point of I have to literally trade for food. I literally have to trade for electricity. And I started trading one by one. And when I started trading one by one, I started achieving. I started actually being able to have shorter trades, take the money when it was there because I needed it, and I paid. And slowly but surely, I started paying these little things one by one. Okay. And then I will always get emotional. It's one of the hardest things for me. I try every time to not get emotional, but a month or two later, I lost my dad to suicide. He lost a lot of his work from COVID. He rented himself a little room. I think he obviously lost a lot of faith within himself, and he took his own life. And that for me was a very, very hard time because I was fighting my ass off. And I remember as I just started getting the trading, I was speaking to my brother, and I'm like, if I keep going like this, I can get daddy's little shop, he'll be okay. I can get mom going, I can get these people going. And unfortunately, I was not in time with my dad. And um, that smacked me a little bit. So what I decided to do was leave the city, and I decided to go on my own journey, and I decided to just go visit a couple of friends. Just before I left, I was staying at a friend's house, and I watched that movie Yes Man from Jim Carrey, and I went on this whole yes journey because I saw this guy in the movie. He just said yes, and his life just went on this crazy journey. So I was sitting there, I was defeated. I didn't know what the hell I was going to do with life, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to say yes. And I'm just going to say yes, and I'm just going to go with it. And I got a call from a friend to come across country, and I did so. I left the next morning, and then for a whole year, I just said yes, right? And what that ended up being was me trading for every hotel I had to stay at, me trading for meals, and going through the whole thing. And around 2 to 3 months in the journey, I was close to Cape Town, and I got a call from Craig, which is on the call here today, and he said we're gonna go watch this crypto banter. He's been watching Rand for years. We're gonna watch crypto banter. Now, guys, when I tell you that I've never watched any YouTubes, I did technical drawing in school, and that's why I learned like lines, 40-degree lines and 30-degree lines. So I was just doing these little trend lines, and I called them floors and ceilings. I didn't know they were called support and resistances. So I didn't know who Rand was. I don't know who Banter was. I didn't know many YouTubers at all within the space. And he said we're gonna go for lunch, and after we're gonna go watch this guy. And I was like, okay. And we get there, and we go upstairs, and I see Rand, and I see Fred, and I see them. They got the cameras, and he's doing a show, and we're on the other side, and we're watching a Banter Friday, and he had a bunch of these traders. And Craig, he looked at me when we were watching it, and he's like, Sheldon, come, we're going outside. We need to talk. So we go outside, and he tells me, he's like, Sheldon, I just had a vision. You need to go on that show. And I was like, no, I'm not going on that show. For me, guys, it was very like, no, I've never taught anyone. I've never been on camera. I've never done any of these things. And he basically told me then that I got this vision, Sheldon, you got to go on the show. And he started hounding Ran. And he started chasing Ran when Ran was done the show. And he's like, you got to meet Sheldon. You got to meet Sheldon. You got to meet Sheldon. And we ended up meeting. And Ran took my number and Craig's number. And he's like, yeah, maybe in the future I'll let you guys know. We can have a chat or anything like that. And that was it. And we left. We are going to go barbecue after that. And when we were in the shops buying stuff for the barbecue, we got a phone call, and it was Ran. And he was basically saying, Ro, let's go for dinner right now. And me and Craig were like, what? Like, okay, like, let's go. And we went to dinner. I had a chat with him, explained a little bit of my story. And he said to me, Sheldon, if you say who you are, like, I'll make you a superstar. And for me, I didn't know much, guys. I didn't know much at all, when I came to any of this. And we're like, okay, cool. He's like, I'll let you guys know in a couple of weeks. Maybe I'll put you on the show. And he said, what coins are you focused on? And I basically gave him 2, 3 coins. And I think two of them nearly doubled overnight. It was bull market started rocketing. I was like just so in tune with the market because I was trading everything every night, every hour. I was just trying to make a damn living. And the coins did good. And he put me on the show that Monday. And I think I got 30 or 40,000 views my first show. And the rest is history, right? It's 4 years later, and I get to present and teach. Guys, I never got the full chance to give my dad what I really wanted to give him. But I can sit here very proudly and say that me and my mother trade together. My mom runs the entire portfolio. She joined me on this whole journey. She was losing a business to COVID. And today we run a full office together. We run incredible. I think we've got 3 or 4 really good businesses. I have around 30 to 40 of my friends and family that we managed to move all of them from my small city or from my city all the way to Cape Town. And I sit here every day incredibly grateful from crypto. So why I teach here and why the school for me is so important is because this is a real life story. This is how I did it. I did it with a couple of trend lines. I did it with a couple of support and resistances. I still don't know what Ethereum does. I still don't know what Solana does. I still don't know what these tokens do. I just traded a couple of lines and I dedicated my entire life to it. I put everything in. And when I tell you that I met Ran, it was about 7 to 8 months after the first time I started trading Bitcoin. And this all happened. So what you are joining here is you are part of a school that we're going to give you every secret, and I'm going to teach you everything that I know. And I really believe that anyone can do this because we're going to simplify it. We're going to make crypto suit your life, not you change your life for crypto. We're going to really make it in such a simple way that you can match it to your strengths and your weaknesses, how to protect yourself from the weakness. I teach you how to become a robot, right? How to really take this and simplify it for yourself. But what you also got to understand is you're in a new culture now. You have different people around you. You are sitting here right now. If you go click that button on the top right, you will see that there is hundreds of people all here fighting for this financial freedom. You are in a room with people that are hungry, that don't want to quit, that are looking for hope, looking for another chance to go in something different out there. I want you to take this entire journey and I want you to enjoy it. If you can make yourself to crypto conferences, go. You know, if you can make some friends here, make one or two little trading groups. I had my team. You guys were introduced within my team. But use the full journey because it's not just financial freedom you're about to learn. You're about to change your entire lifestyle. And for me today, I sit here grateful and I'm going to serve for the rest of my life. I'm going to teach every single thing that I know. And my next goal is I have a daughter. I have a little son that's on his way in about 3 weeks. I just want to get my family a nice house. That's my goal of what I'm trading for this bull cycle to just make sure they have. I want my mother to officially retire. She will. She's this close, but my mom will retire by the end of this year, which makes me very happy. And that's what I'm fighting for. And today, you need to know what the hell are you fighting for? Why are you here? If you're tired of working hard, don't become a day trader because a day trader works just as hard. You're going to work all the way throughout the night. You're going to work through all of these sort of things. If you want more freedom and these type of things, you have to understand why are you here today? Because you're going to make money. Okay, but you need to make sure that you don't sacrifice your entire self to make money. You make crypto fit your lifestyle. Again, someone that trades 3 times a year makes just as much money as someone that trades 200 times. They just use different styles and they don't confuse themselves, right? That's the big difference. This last period that was tough within this market over the last couple of weeks means nothing for an investor. For someone that is trading only 3 times a year, they didn't lose anything. They're sitting here just holding their position. For someone that's trying to trade every day, it's been really tough. It's been really difficult. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock and show you guys the different time frames and show you the different data that you're looking at and how to take your money and put purpose behind it. Because a lot of us take this money and we don't have any purpose behind it. We don't even know what the hell we're doing here. We just want to make some money. It's very different, right? For me, if you look at my entire portfolio, there is money that is set to buy me a house. I want to buy a house that is worth $2 million, okay, but I only want to pay $100,000 for it. It's taken me 2 years to build this account, but that amount of money that is mine there, that's what I'm using it for. Then I have another account that is there to, let's say, for a car. Then I have another car account that can be there for groceries. So what you do is it teaches you to take this money of yours and to put real purpose behind it and split it up. Okay, if you have different things that you want to achieve, each set and accounts are going to have different simple strategies. You work hard once, which is building your foundation. Okay, and then everything is automated. Every Monday, you know how to check this, check. You're not going to work hard. In the beginning, though, it's important to understand the purpose and what exactly you're going to be doing with your money. Guys, I'm going to jump into the charts now. Can I have yeses in the chat? You excited? Yeses in the chat. You excited to start this journey with me? I need you to dedicate and be on every single one of these live events until we are finished. You need to be with me on this journey, and I'm going to simplify trading, and I'm going to make sure that anyone here can understand what the hell they want to achieve in their life, how they're going to do it, what are the tools they're going to use, okay? And they're going to have a community and a structure that is going to help them. So yes, lots of yeses, lots of yeses. Okay, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Let's go. Okay, so let's start off with a market update. Market is waking up. So let's quickly go through a market update. Can you see my screen? Can I have a thumbs up? Pirate J, Mama Sniper, you can see my screen, you can see the charts, right?
Yes,
Okay,
sir. Yes, sir.
there we go. Okay, so let's have a look and see what Bitcoin's currently doing. So Bitcoin's just woken up. I spoke about a short squeeze, which is currently happening right now. Okay, so I spoke about this play. Yes, the two plays. We're either going to open the market, pull back. We spoke about this yesterday as well. That was the play yesterday of the nice bounce. And now we're starting to get to short squeeze territory. So this is the play that's currently happening right now. Okay, so what I see happening is Bitcoin pumping up and make its way to 107. Then we might have a little bit of turbulence. It might want to go all the way. We shall see. Okay, but nonetheless, I think by the end of this week, we can be sitting at $108,000 to $112,000 Bitcoin, right? Which is really good. But the important thing to understand here is looking at this Bitcoin dominance. Dominance has started to weaken over the last little while. Okay, and while we're in this,
what am I doing here? Why am I talking about Bitcoin dominance and why am I talking about Bitcoin? Guys, the important thing to understand is you got a big daddy token called Bitcoin, right? And you have altcoins. Altcoins are going to follow Bitcoin. It's basically like the stock market. You got the NASDAQ and you got all the companies, right? Whatever the NASDAQ does, the companies are going to do a little bit more exaggerated because they're smaller when it comes to the amount of money that's inside or the value of them, right? So they're a little bit more volatile. When the NASDAQ goes up 3%, these stocks may go up 20%, right? It's the same within crypto. You got Bitcoin, okay, and you got the altcoins. And if Bitcoin moves 5%, your altcoins are going to move 10%. If Bitcoin drops 5%, your altcoins are going to drop 10%, right? And I'm going to teach you the balance of altcoins because altcoins is not long-term wealth. It's not. It's a tool to long-term wealth, but by holding long altcoins throughout all the cycles, you're just going to get rich and poor and rich and poor, rich and poor, right? Altcoins are actually there to make a lot more Bitcoin. That's what it's there for. When the market is going in a strong direction, you're holding altcoins. Market wants to come down, you hold Bitcoin, right? This is the whole thing here. But why I look at Bitcoin is because you want to get an understanding of what is Bitcoin looking like for the day. What is it looking like for the week? What is it looking like for the month? What is it looking like for the year? Right? If Bitcoin is in a good place where for the next week it's going to go up, you're definitely trading to the upside for the week within your altcoins. Okay. If it's looking like it's not going to go up for the week, okay, but it looks like it's going to go great for the next 6 months, okay, you focus on your investment part of the portfolio and you focus on investment entries and investment exits, right? So Bitcoin is a great way to see, should I be trading this week or should I not be trading? Because the interesting fact with trading is 10 days out of 30 days a month is actually days to trade. 20 days is where you should be saving money. What I mean by that is when this market goes up, it is giving money to people, right? And then it gets to a certain phase where it starts taking money from people. Okay, so 10 days in a month, you're focused on making money. 20, you're trying to protect yourself from losing money. Okay, a lot of people don't get that. They only just think make money, make money, make money. You're going to make money. Everyone makes money in crypto in the beginning. That's why everyone's probably here, right? They probably bought something, saw people made money. Everyone makes money. Not a lot of people keep it though, right? And that's the important thing to understand. So looking at Bitcoin gives me the views. And then you got something called Bitcoin dominance, which is how much money in the entire crypto space is sitting in Bitcoin. Because what you have is money will flow into Bitcoin and money will flow out of Bitcoin into altcoins. So if the dominance is going down, it's a great altcoin trading day, right? Money is moving out of Bitcoin into alts. So alts are looking really aggressive. If the dominance is rocketing up, your altcoins are not getting that strong momentum when Bitcoin is moving. So it's probably worth trading Bitcoin, right? And it's very important to understand the difference. So this is why I always look to see, like right now, your altcoins are probably looking pretty good, right? And this is because your Bitcoin dominance is starting to come down. And therefore, you can start to see that overall, your altcoins are probably starting to wake up. There we go. There is a Doge breakout that's about to happen, right? This is about to start a nice little short squeeze over here and break through the tops. You can see all your altcoins are starting to wake up. Why? Because the Bitcoin dominance is starting to tank down, right? And if dominance comes down and Bitcoin is going up, this is the best recipe of a strong market. Okay, so let's start off with quickly updating you. Let me quickly update you one more time with the market, and then I'm going to go into the next major lesson, which is important. Okay, so guys, again, Bitcoin to the areas of 107, then a pullback, then we get going. In the same time, dominance I see coming down, okay, which means your alts will start ripping now pretty strong. Then they're going to have a small pullback, and then we're going to continue the major rally. So again, what this looks like on your altcoins is we push up, we come down, and then we get going. Right? So you can see how just by looking at two charts, I already have a good idea of what these altcoins are about to do. Right? And I really have a good understanding just by looking at two charts. You learn to really simplify these things for yourself. But let's start at the beginning. Let's quickly go through. You have now gone through your first week. Remember, your first major week is to really start to get the fundamentals and the basics when it comes to investing, trading, day trading, swing trading. They are all the same things. An investor is a trader. Don't get it incorrect. The only difference is they look at high time frame data. A trader or day trader is the same as the investor, but they're just looking at short time data. But you're trading the same token, right? You're using the same fundamentals, and you got to understand that this market is 100% emotionally driven. So in this first week, us going through this Wall Street cheat sheet, okay, it's very important to understand that you see these emotions play out every minute, every hour, every 3 months, right? You just see it play out on different time frames, okay? But when you look at this market, and it's very similar, you got to start to understand that a lot of people come into crypto when the markets are pumping, Okay, when the markets are moving, everyone wants to be a part of crypto. When the markets are coming down, no one wants to be a part of crypto. When it's going sideways, no one wants to be a part of crypto, right? And this is the big problem. We have been taught when things are good, that is when you want to go do them, right? When things are bad, you don't want to do them. This is something that you have to change today, right? When times are the hardest is when you are opening trades, okay? When things are going amazing, you are taking profits. Where the rest of the world are going to come and they're going to buy when the markets are greed, you are actually starting to get out of the markets. And what this is it's showing you that this crypto market is 100%, all markets are run very much on emotions, right? You could see that when things start moving, oh, okay, it's maybe going to go. It's maybe going to go. Okay, cool. I'm going to keep an eye. Oh, it's starting to go. Oh, have you got money? Getting. Oh, it's going. And it basically starts your emotions and it does this, right? And you could see that within the charts. You could see that every day. You could see that within the emotions here. That when we start something, look how it starts slowly and then it really starts to rally up, right? You've got these things of hope, optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria. This is where 80%, and I want to show you guys something that's very interesting. I want to go here to the Bitcoin chart, okay, and I want to show you guys something that's super interesting. I'm going to go to the last cycle over here. Okay, so when this market is at this phase over here, only 20% of people are in crypto. And I'm talking about the amount of people that come into crypto, 20% come in over here. These are your smart investors. These are people that actually understand the future of crypto. They understand the fundamentals. They understand what's going on. And they are buying where no one is interested, right? When the market does this, 80% of the market come into crypto. Okay? So 80% of people lose money, okay? And 20% make of that 80%, right? And the 80%, 20%, so they lose 80% of their money, and the 20% makes all of that money over there. That is literally the stats of crypto. So it's so important to understand that because you are actually fighting a game that is designed to make you lose. That is what it is. But the moment you can understand that and realize that, it's not so scary anymore. You just got to play the damn game. This is a game to any similar game on your phone or anything you play in life. It is a game that you've got to understand the very simple method to use, and it becomes a lot less scary, okay? But that is the major stat over here. So the way it works is emotions are very driven, and I want to show you guys that crypto is filled with different types of people, and I want to show you this over here. Okay, I use it as a food chain, is what I call it. Okay, and I basically use like a sea food chain, right? You have a whale, you have sharks, you have dolphins, you have fish, you have shrimps. These are the different types of people you get in crypto. Okay, and what it is basically your whales are your big institutions. It can be institutions, it can be large, well, it can be really, really, really smart people that actually understand what the tech is, but they only buy in a very, very, very difficult time. Right? These whales over here, they feed off of these emotions. They feed off the capitulation, the anger, and the depression. It's the only time that they buy into the market. When the market is going through a bad time, where it's been a lot of red, everyone's been panic selling, no one believes in crypto anymore, this is when a certain category is buying within this market, right? Then what you have is as the market starts to slowly recover, right? You get these guys called the sharks, okay? And these are the next investors that start to step in, and they wait for a little bit of confirmation, start to wait for a little bit of volume, and they start entering within the market. But still, this falls a part of only the 20% that of people are in. Not a lot of people are in crypto. For example, when I started my YouTube journey, I went from 30,000 views to 200,000 views, right? Because the market was just going and going and going. When I was in the bear market, my lowest show was 12,000 views. Okay, so I went from 200,000 views to 12,000 views. That's how much people left when the market was making its way down. Okay, so when we all of a sudden go into these emotions over here, which are the depression, and let me just show you here, there we go, which is the denial, the panic, the capitulation, the anger, no one survives, and at least 80% of people leave crypto. And there is one category of people that actually buy those major bottoms, right? You got the whales. Then after that, you got the sharks. Okay, they feed off of these emotions over here, which is the panic, the capitulation, the depression, the disbelief. Then you have your dolphins. And dolphins, for me, are basically those that have been to 1 or 2 bull markets before. They wait for high time frame confirmations. For example, they wait for very high time frame trend breaks. They wait for interest to come back. Then they start entering in, right? And they're the ones that don't really try pick the bottoms of the markets. They don't really try pick the top. They just try catch a nice move. They see the confirmations and they start getting out, right? Then what you have is your fish. Your fish are lots of little wallets that come flying in because they want to be rich overnight. They heard that one of their friends bought a Lamborghini and now they want to go in. So they come in and they come in very quickly over here and they chase the pump. The moment we start seeing this hope and optimism, here we go, optimism, belief, this is where your fish start flying into the markets. Yet the market before that has already grown, and I just want to show you this over here. This market has already grown 700%, and all of these people are coming flying in. They come flying in, they want to be in, they want to make money very quickly. Then what you have is your shrimp. Your shrimp is the most amount of people that come right at the top. Right? And the sad thing is shrimp and fish, they will sell their cars, they will take loans, they will borrow money, they will do whatever it can because they want to become rich overnight. They will buy the Dogecoin, they will buy the XRP, the tokens that you see the most on TikTok, the most all over the world. They are the ones chasing these things, buying the memes, buying all these specific things, okay? And they are the sad ones that lose majority of their money, right? But this is the different ecosystems that come through. And it just shows you that the only difference between those categories is the emotions that they buy. Lots of those, the fish and the shrimp, buy on the emotions when markets are going up. Okay, the sharks, dolphins, and whales buy when the markets are going down, when the markets are showing bad signs, when you're hearing that there's wars going on and you're hearing that these things are going on. This is creating panic. This is creating denial. This is creating anger. This is making people panic out. Okay, and these categories over here, that is what they feed on. That is the only time they buy and load up within the markets. And if you go look at the times of when this happened over here, okay, you will see who was buying, right? The micro strategies, the very big investors that feed off of these over here, okay, were buying at these major phases, and these are the whales and sharks. The moment we think we start to fly up and we start to move, that's when you get the fish and the shrimps to come through. Now, what's very important here, guys, is to understand that these emotions play out on all time frames. If you are a day trader and you want to trade every day, you need to now understand that they are different time frames. And I'm going to go through time frames for a second. If you look at the top over here, you know your trading view. Now remember, trading view is where you are going to draw your art, right? You're going to draw your analysis. You're going to have an understanding of what coins you're buying, where you're going to buy them. This is where you draw, and obviously the exchange is where you're going to be trading the actual tokens, right? But if you understand, you'll see at the top here, you'll see the different time frames. Same token, okay, but I want to show you a few things. If you look at this RSI and you look at the price here, what do you see here on Bitcoin on the weekly? It's going up, right? Okay, now let's go to a daily. Okay, it's going sideways. Okay, cool. Now we go to the 1 hour. Okay, it's going up, right? And look at this RSI over here. Look how the RSI is nearly at the bottom. 4 hour, it's at the top. 8 hour, it's nearly at the top. 12 hour, halfway in the middle. Daily at the bottom. Weekly in the middle. Monthly. Do you look at this data and look how confusing it is, because everything is showing you different prices, different candles, different nets. Let's simplify this for you. That 1 hour chart is showing you data for the next 24 to 48 hours. That's it. Not telling you what's going to happen next week. It's not telling you what's going to happen in the next 3 months. It's telling you that if you're looking at a 1 hour chart, it's showing you data that's going to happen over the next 24 to 48 hours. If you're looking at a 4 hour chart, it's showing you what's going to happen between 5 and 7 days. If you're looking at an 8 hour chart, 7 to 10 days, and we'll give you guys all the slides that has all this information with you. If you're looking at the 12 hour, you're looking at what's happening the next 2 weeks. If you're looking at the daily, you're looking at what's happening in the next 2 months. If you're looking at the weekly, you're looking at the next 3 to 6 months. If you're looking at the monthly, the next year to 2 years, right? So these different time frames are showing you specific data. Now, this data is so important when you understand what to do with it. Because if you are a day trader, what the hell are you looking at the daily charts for, right? Because you just want to make money in the next 3 hours, which means that if your token is going down on the 1 hour, but it's at the top on the daily, and on the daily you're like, oh, this thing's going to come down. You don't care because inside of the market going down, there are moves that it comes down, which means even though overall the market will come down over the next 3 months, right? In that day, there's 5 hours that the market's going to go up, and you're going to trade to make money within that up. So what it basically means, guys, is by understanding the different data, you're not going to confuse yourself, okay, with what you are actually looking at. So for example, again, if you are being someone that wants to trade right now, right, look at the 1 hour. The 1 hour is just crossed at the bottom over here on the RSI. It's time to prepare for some longs. Yet for someone that wants to hold a trade for 7 days, it's a terrible time to buy. You missed the buy. Okay, which means if you are a part-time, someone that has a job that can't watch and you can only trade once a week, you have to wait for this RSI to make its way down, then you can start buying. And it's basically teaching you the patience game, because what did I just tell you guys before this? I just showed you that emotions is everything. What is this token doing? It is busy pumping, right? What emotions are you currently seeing? If we go back over here, what emotions are you seeing? You are seeing belief, you're seeing thrill, you're seeing euphoria, which means that you are going to be a fish if you want to go and just chase this right now, because you are not trading on the right emotions. However, if you fast forward now in the next 3-4 days and this market starts to do this, and this RSI starts to come down, then what emotions are you seeing? Then all of a sudden on that specific 4-hour, you are starting to see denial, panic, capitulation, anger. Now it's time for you to get ready to start buying. Okay, so it teaches you just by understanding the different time frames, is every single time frame has its own emotions that are playing out. And if you are someone that wants to make money in the next 7 days, you know that the 4-hour chart is the one that you need to focus on. If you want to make money over the next 3 months and you want to be an investor, then the daily and the weekly is the ones. So by knowing the different time frames, you're going to understand that this is different data. Now, what's amazing about this, guys, is now you go back to the main thing of purpose of your money, right? I have $1,000 and I have $300 that I want long term. I have $200 that I want to make money for Christmas, and I have $200 that I want to try and make another $200 by next week. You have money and you have an idea of what you want to do with that money. Now, what you've got to do next is you're going to take that money and you're going to attach it to one time frame, which means that this $300, I'm only going to trade on the weekly time frame, because I want to make money with this $200 over the next 6 months. What that does is that removes all of the confusion. It takes all of these time frames and it removes it, and it gives you one time frame to focus on. It tells you one RSI to focus on, one major moving average to focus on, one amount of volume to focus on. Instead of going through all these different time frames and confusing yourself, you can simplify it within one major time frame. Same thing when it's the day trading. That day trading will only be used on the 1 hour, okay? And it removes the noise, because some people will be telling you that, oh, Bitcoin's going to go to this much by this year, and next year is a crash, right? This doesn't matter to you because you are trading what you need for the next 24 hours. So again, coming back over here, emotions is the most important thing to understand as an investor and as a trader. When the markets are red again, and you have seen panic, and you heard that NVIDIA is crashing, and DeepSync has come out and brought that, you should be buying, right? Why? Because that is creating panic, capitulation, and it's creating these emotions here, which for you is the time to start deploying and start buying within. The moment that you start hearing that crypto is the biggest thing in the world, they're going to sponsor the next Olympics, it's going to be huge, what are you going to see then? You're then going to see the markets start to rally up. Where is this over here? Then you're going to start to see the market rallying up. You're going to see this belief, these sort of things. So what it teaches you is this, guys, and I want to show you a few things over here. These emotions show you that you have very accelerating emotions, okay, and you have the slow emotions as well. And what that basically looks like is when the market has dropped, that is the very aggressive emotion. This is where people are really just panicking out. They don't know what's going on. They're worried. So the best thing they do is they panic out, right? Then after that, price starts to settle, okay? And in the settling time over here, people start to lose faith. They start to lose focus. They start to feel a little bit depressed. They got some time to think about their losses. They start getting angry for what they had and what they didn't have. And this is what starts to get people to flake out. Then the market starts to slowly grind up. And when it starts to slowly grind up, you get a little bit of hope. It starts to reject. You start to lose faith. And then what happens is it starts to speed up, right? So what that teaches you is when the market starts to slow down is a very important time for you to be focused, right? When the market is speeding up is the time for you to actually take action. And I'll show you this now over here as well. Here, when the market starts to slow down, you start to buy. You buy, you buy, you buy, you be patient. The market starts moving up. The moment it starts to speed up, what does that mean when it comes to emotions? It is telling you, where is this now? Over here. There we go. What is it telling you now? That you have accelerating emotions and you have slow down emotions. When the market is angry and depressed, it's going slow, right? When the market is belief, thrill, euphoria, it is going fast. So what that means is when you're buying when no one is buying, when no one is interested, right? And then when it starts to speed up, you know that it's getting near the end. So this is the time where you start looking to actually getting out within the trades. So you buy when it's slow, and as it starts to speed up is the time where you're actually starting to exit. Then what will happen is it will slow down, and then it will move again, right? And this is how you're going to start to see that these emotions are on 1 hour, 50 minutes, every single different time frame, you will see these major emotions start to play out. Okay, next thing over here, guys, is you start to learn. So can I have ones in the chat? Emotions are making sense, and these are things that are super, super, super important. Yes, 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 yes. Lots of ones in the chat. So your emotions are, so the next time you see this massive, massive double-digit green days, let's say as example, you're actually looking to see what can I take some profits on, right? When you see these massive red days of these double digits, and that's why me as an investor, I have a very simple rule. And this is important for the next stage that you learn in week one. You learn the emotions, you learn the different types of people that are here, right? And the only difference between the people is the emotions that they feed off. They know when the market is hyped up and moving fast, they're taking profits. Okay, they know when the market is tanking hard, they know let's go buy the fear, right? Buy the dip. But then what you also have is you start to understand that there's these risk to rewards, right? Which is also a very important thing to understand. So now you know the amount of different types of people and you know the emotions that people are going through. Now let's speak about risk to reward. And this all still falls part of the exact same thing. However, let me show you. As an investor for Bitcoin right now, I don't think it's a great time to invest in Bitcoin, personally, right? Why? Because let's look at risk to reward. Let's go look at the best and the worst scenario of Bitcoin right now for the cycle. Okay, I'm going to say Bitcoin goes to $250,000, right? Remember, we started the rally at $15,000. So from $15,000 to $250,000 is a very strong rally, right? But let's say $250,000. Let's say 200. 250 is a little bit much. 200,000, okay? Now what I do is I take to this risk to reward tool over here, and I want to show you something. Look at the best, let's say the best scenario is 200,000. Okay? Let's go look at the worst scenario. Where was the lowest Bitcoin was in the last couple of years? As an investor, you got to understand that at any point, a token can come back down to range lows. At 100% can. If something goes very wrong in the stock market, the market's dropped 50%, Bitcoin's going to come down, right? And you got to understand that if it does come down, how much risk are you taking? If Bitcoin decides to go back to its all-time lows, which again, yes, I don't think it will happen, but you need to understand the fundamentals when you're investing within a token, okay? That's the worst, right? Now, if you look at that, look at the amount of red and look at the amount of green. The very important thing for you in trading is for you to not be a gambler. You want to be a trader. And a trader is someone that calculates risk and understands that when they are going to invest or get in a token, they know that their risk is a lot less than their reward. This is a gambler. This means you are maybe going to be rich or you may be going to lose a lot of your money, right? It is not a good risk to reward. So whenever you are going to invest, whenever you are going to take a trade, you need to take your risk into consideration. You need to look at the worst case scenario, right? And you got to look at the best case scenario and you got to see, is it a good risk to reward? And that's why it's so important to know that you need to at least have a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio to know that it's actually worth it. That means that 3 times more of the reward is what you'll make than one of the loss, right? Now, if you look at Bitcoin here, not the best investment in my opinion, right? But let's go look at another token now. Let's go look at Algo. right? Let's go look at, this is why I'm very much focused on altcoins, by the way, because I think that I love Bitcoin. I really do, but I think Bitcoin's way overpriced considering the altcoins. Let's go look at something like Algo now. Let's go look at the worst, okay? And let's go look at the best. Do you see the difference? Okay, this is why for me, when I talk about altcoins in the show, and I say, guys, altcoins is the place for us to focus on. This is where we are going to make money, right? Because Bitcoin's already sailed the ship. When Bitcoin's back at its lows next cycle, no problem. We can go all in. But for now, it is not. It's not the case. Bitcoin's been hyping for months and months and months. It's expensive. But look at the difference over here. Okay, when you are taking an investment, you are paying attention to your risk. And that for me, this is the worst. This is where FTX collapsed, where banks were collapsing, where there was so much happening. That's the worst that you got with Algo. Okay, that's the best that you got. And by the way, when Algo was here in the last cycle, Bitcoin was only at $60,000, right? Bitcoin's now at $100,000. Okay, so there's even a chance of highs, but nonetheless, this is what you call a good trade or investment. So whenever you are going to take a trade, why it is terrible to chase a pump. Another example here. Okay, let's say you zoom in here and you want to trade for the day. Okay, now you look at this and you say, okay, I want to buy this token now. Okay, I think it's going to go over here. That's where I think it's going to go. Okay, but 24 hours ago it was over here. So if you go take this tool now and you pop this in, you are very much in the gambler's mentality, right? Because look at that. Your risk to reward is a 1-to-1. However, if you look at the emotions again, where all of a sudden this goes up, then it starts doing this, and it starts to tank. Again, what happens? Panic, denial, depression, anger, disbelief. Now all of a sudden you're looking at buying. Then you take the tool here and you look at this. You're like, okay, where's the worst that it's been? Where's the best that it's been? Look what happens all of a sudden. Okay, so by you being prepared on red days, by you being prepared when the market is in panic, when it is struggling, when it is in depression stage, it is showing you that it's the least risk time for you to invest. It's the best time to get ready to buy and to open up trades because your risk is the least. If you are going to chase pumps, and here's an example over here, where you are going to chase pumps here, look what can happen. Look at the amount of loss that can happen by you chasing something that's already pumped it on crazy. And here's another example over here. Massive pump over there and drop down. Okay, so by you understanding these emotions and when you open trades, when you have seen these emotions, and again, if you want a day trade, what are you looking for? You are looking for these emotions here, these panic denials, but you're just looking for it on the 1-hour chart. You're not looking for it in the weekly. You're looking for, in that part of the day, when did we have a drop? When did we slow down? And are we starting to make our way up again? Okay, and this is where I start teaching you next, and this is obviously in the next section, where I teach you TA. I teach you that when the market starts to drop down and go sideways, put a trend line in there. Okay, and don't waste your time until that trend line is broken. When that trend line is breaking, it is telling you that something is about to change, and now you must pay attention to start entering trades. So when the market drops here, why do you want to give away money when it's in the depressing and anger phase? This is going to take your money, right? Because it's going to go up, you're going to get excited, it's going to come down, you're going to get upset, you're probably going to start panicking out, you're not going to know what's going on, you're going to start quitting, right? Where the market is basically just going sideways. Why are you losing money? Why are you getting kicked out? Because that is what the market is doing. It is taking money and it's getting rid of the impatience, okay, and it's giving it to the patient, because those that just get through the hard time reap the reward. Those who get destroyed in the hard time, they're gone. They flush completely out. So when the market has had a drop and is going sideways and starts to break important trends, that's when you go and open up trades, because all of a sudden you go, firstly, the emotions are playing out correctly. You're buying at the right time. But secondly, look how you've just reduced your risk a lot versus your reward. Okay, so automatically, just by knowing emotions, no more chasing these pumps anymore when you've missed it. If you've missed it, you have missed it. The market is not going to go anywhere, because if you look at 2 months ago, I'm pretty sure everyone was very excited to get into crypto, right? Now, everyone's like, I don't know. But again, when the market starts to accelerate, they want to get in again. And what it teaches you is the market will always give new trades. Stop having this FOMO and think that it's going to go up. You need to go all in. If the token has pumped, sit on your hands, decide that I'm buying this token. I want to make money in 2 weeks, in 4 weeks, in 3 months, in 6 months. Go to that time frame, wait for those emotions to play out, and then you start to enter. And by doing that, you are learning that less is more in crypto. The less and more accurate that you trade, the better. The more that you trade and give away, you exhaust yourself, you throw away a bunch of money. And when the market is actually ready to go up again, you are out of money, you are exhausted, and you are quitting. Okay? And that's why within crypto, it's important to understand that trading less and a little bit more patience, okay, will make you way more money. It will make you probably the same amount of money as trading a lot, but you will save a lot. You will not give away 90% of your money, right? That's the massive difference. So again, by jumping in here, the main thing is understanding when the market is speeding up and slowing down. And guys, it works the same thing when we pump. When we pump, look at the problem here with the alts. We pumped and we went sideways. That was already a warning sign. That sideways means we are slowing down, okay? But the moment we started breaking important trends, we went into the major bull markets. So again, for me now is to understand that the emotions is the part of every day, your day trading, your swing trading, and as you're investing. Guys, can I have ones in the chat that I got your attention and that it makes sense, right? No more jumping on and your coin has pumped 40% and you want to go trade that coin, right? Why? Because you are a gambler. Maybe go to the casino, you get a nice drink with it, you'll have a good night, right? And then you can lose your money that way. But if you're going to just go in and chase the coin that's done 60% for the day, your risk to reward is destroyed and you are setting yourself up for failure. Fundamentals teaches you that those who fish when no one's fishing is those that catch the most fish, right? And that's exactly it. Because when that market comes down, all the other people that were chasing, they get flushed out. And when they get flushed out, gives you the opportunity for you to be buying the right emotions when no one is interested. Again, when the market comes down, it is trying to remove people from the market. It's flushing people out. It is taking money. It is flushing out a whole bunch of people, okay? And then you're left with the 20%. That 20% is what accumulates in those areas over there. When the market goes up again, the 80% come flying back in. And you literally just have an exchange because remember, there's only 21 million Bitcoin. They're not making more Bitcoin every day. The only difference you are seeing is people that are buying and selling Bitcoin from each other. Some people are panicking out of Bitcoin, other people are buying that panic. Some other people are getting out of Bitcoin, taking profits, and other people are buying that. There's not new coins that are being generated every day. You're literally just getting people that are fighting for the same damn tokens. Put yourself on the right damn team, okay, and set yourself up for a strong journey by understanding that emotions, risks, rewards, and the next thing, which is your rules, is super, super, super important. As an example, me as an investor, I'm only allowed to buy on my investment portfolio 2 things. First one is when I have the right emotions on the weekly chart. Second one is a double-digit red day. If I go into my bubbles and I see everything is double digits red, 20%, 25%, 30%, that's the day that I deploy. Okay? And it's the same vice versa. When I jump on and I see a double 20, 30, 40, 50% green day, I have to take some profit. So these are little rules that I implement, that I put within myself that can simplify things for me and understand, okay, that when these markets are speeding up is when I need to do something. So rule systems are there to help you with your strengths and your weaknesses. And what that means is you need to understand yourself, and trading's about to expose that. Who's traded leverage here? Can I have yes in the chat? Who's tried leverage? Let's see. And how's it going? Be honest. Give me a 1 out of 10. How's it going? One out of 10. Let's see. A 6, not bad. -1, horrible. Okay. Now, why? Because, again, emotions. Emotions, right? It is emotionally draining. Like leverage, the fact that you can lose all your money. Firstly, you're rich 2 hours, and then 2 hours later, you've lost all your money. And then you get back in, and then you make a lot of money. That is emotionally, like, absolutely draining, right? Now, when you expose these emotions, you start to expose your strengths and weaknesses. For example, going back to when I started my journey, I was making money, right? But the moment that I made the money that I needed, I forgot about I needed the money and I wanted more, right? I have a gambler's mentality. I have a gambler's mentality, and I know that when the good is going, I forget about the bad, and I just like, I'm gonna go bigger, 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 bigger. To this day, I fight that. Okay, I had to build rule systems that protect me from that. For example, if I lose 2 trades, I have to take 2 days break. If I win 2 trades, I have to take 2 days break. Okay, why? Because if I don't take a 2 days break, I'm going to take all that money and go all the way back in again. And my gambler's mentality is going to kick in, and I'm just going to go, go, go until what happens? Till it turns and I lose it all, right? So when you're trading leverage and these sort of things, understand that this is about to take your emotions to the moon. It's about to expose the truth within yourself, because we are all different. Some people are fearful, some are extremely a gambler's mentality, some are very slow, they don't really know what to do, and they're kind of like FOMO in and these type of things, FOMO traders, all these type of things. Your emotions are going to be exposed by trading. Now, I don't want you to change your emotions, but you have to build rule systems that protect you against yourself, okay, and that help you against yourself too, because you have a lot of strengths too. Some people have a lot more patience than other people. Okay, and some people don't. Some people are also scared to deploy versus other people as well. These rule systems are things that are going to help you within yourself, and trading journals is the way to see a lot of that. By having a trading journal, okay, whenever you are stuck or you are losing trades, pop out a trading journal and jump to the 5-10 minute chart and go trade 10 times. In and out, go trade for a couple of hours, just go trade and put it in a trading journal. And what it's going to show you is it's going to show you a lot of repetition. It's going to show you 3 times you got stopped out by the same reason. 3 times you entered too late by the same reason. Okay, and it's going to start to highlight where you repeat things, right? And once you start to see that, you just make one little change and it starts to change all of it. So this trading journal is going to help you understand when you are stuck or a weakness or a strength is starting to show. Okay, and it's going to show in multiple times, because if you have lost money in crypto, 70% of the time is because you did the same thing. Okay, not because you did different things, it's because you did the same thing. And that's the problem. Okay, it's because you're literally bumping your head on the same damn branch, and you're upset why you're bumping your head, because you are doing the same thing. So a trading journal is another thing that you learn in week 1. That is there to determine when you have a problem, when you are losing too many times, what is going on. Jump to the 5-minute chart, because whatever you're doing on the 5 minutes, you're doing it on the long term as well. Because remember, all these different time frames are the same. The emotions are the same. You want to find your problem, you jump to the 5-minute chart, you take 10 trades, and it will show you that you're getting stopped out 4 times in a row because you're buying on this indicator and you're buying at these levels. And it's like, it will start to see, whoa, that's a problem. Guys, who gets stopped out all the time? Anyone? I get stopped out all the time. Stopped out, stopped out, stopped out, and it goes up after that. Right? Have you ever thought about putting a buy order where you would put your stop loss? Have you ever thought? So just before you're about to put your stop loss or you're about to enter a trade, you like, I'm going to put my stop loss here. Have you ever thought about taking a limit order and just putting it where you're about to put your stop loss? Because so many people basically will get stopped out all the time and they'll be upset. Where I'm like, what do you mean? You're consistent. I'm like, you consistently getting stopped out? Consistency is good. Just go put a buy order where you would put your stop loss and you'll consistently get the buys, right? And these are little things that show through these trading journals, okay? That show through things, because it is. And people get stopped out, and it's frustrating, but you're consistent. The fact that you're consistently getting stopped out is a good thing, right? It's a good thing that you're consistent. So all you do now is you just look at it and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. I got stopped here, stopped here, stopped here, stopped here, all for the same reason. Why don't I not enter next time and just put my buy zone where my stop loss is? Okay? Your trading journal is going to highlight this for you. Your trading journal is going to show you these things where you can start looking at the solutions. And the moment that you start tweaking these things, you get back on track. The important thing here is nothing is going to change on this trading journey of yours. Things aren't going to get better. The only difference is you are going to learn how to handle yourself better. And what I mean by that is your bad days will still happen. Okay, your liquidations will still happen. I got liquidated for $400,000, okay, in the last 3 weeks. 400,000. The only difference was I got liquidated $400 4 years ago. It's still a lot of money. It doesn't matter 400. It's a lot of money, right? So just because you're going to make more money, be successful, you're still going to have bad streaks. The difference, though, okay, is you are going to learn how to switch out of your problems quicker versus sitting in those problems for a lot longer. That's the only thing that changes, right? Is yes, I lost 400, but before that, and now that I'm currently trading now, I'm moving to make more, right? But that's the thing. My bounce back has gotten better. My when I have to stop trading has gotten better. Your good and bad streaks will continue in this journey. But the way you handle them, and when you are having a bad streak, the fact that you actually have the discipline to put up a trading journal and go fix it versus just complaining and moaning at a YouTuber that you followed, okay, that is the difference. Versus someone that pops on, spends 2 hours, takes a bunch of 5-minute charts, figures out their problem and fixes it. Versus someone that blames the world, upset with everyone, not happy. Like, guys, you have the choice at the end of the day and you are in control. You just need the discipline and you need to respect yourself by fixing the damn problem. Guys, can I have ones in the chat? We're good. Ones. Okay, so we're gonna jump in with the team. We're gonna have Jiv pop up now for a sec. She's gonna say what's up. Jiv is a MC, and we're gonna jump on the team and we're gonna go through questions and spend some time. The next session we're going through full charting. I'm gonna teach you how to buy as an investor, where to sell, where to put take profits, where to put stop losses. As short-term leverage traders, I'll help you guys with some basic strategies. I'm going to give you all of the TA in the next session. Today, let's ask questions specifically around emotions and a lot of the topics we were speaking about today over here as well. Okay, amazing. Let's bring on the team. Love you guys lots. Did you have fun today? Is it good? Amazing.
Hello, everyone. Let me just bring on the team. Yes, there we go. And let's just get Craig as well.
Get the team on. Let's go. Yes, the team. OG team.
There we go. And
hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. Before we get into the Q&A, how pumped is everyone that you are one step closer to understanding how to chart crypto? Hey, I just want to put something into perspective for everyone. This is the beginning of your journey. This is literally where it all starts. Keep in mind, if you want to be a successful trader, you need to become a successful trader. Your day kind of needs to look like you watch Sheldon shows. That's where you get your information from. Sniper Schools, where you come to understand his shows. And then you get Sniper Club, where you come and you find your community and the people to keep you in line on those days that Sheldon was talking about, your emotions getting you in the way. Then you've got your team, your community to help you through that. And before we go on to these questions, I just want to ask Bruce, do you maybe want to just tell us a little bit more about Sniper Club? And then we can go on.
Sure. Happy good morning, everybody. And by the way, it is very early morning for me out in California versus all these people that are wide awake from South Africa. Yeah, so I was listening to Sheldon talk about the emotions of trading and the emotions of the market and keeping a journal and all this stuff. And it reminded me that trading is a lot like sports. I'm assuming everyone's had an experience trading, practicing a sport, whether it's soccer or football or baseball or skiing or whatever. And when you're doing such a thing, you first learn the basics, right? How to hold a bat or how to kick a ball or what a goal is and stuff like that. And that's what Sniper School is. Sniper School is a place where you're going to learn how to draw a chart and its horizontal support and what resistance is and Fibonacci's and all this stuff over the next couple of weeks. You're going to learn the basics. But then, like a sport, now the fun begins. The work in the fun, because it's really the same thing, is both improving those skills that you learned and improving your ability to implement those skills. And in our case, that's going to be your analytic abilities, right? You're going to see all these squiggly lines on a chart. And then you're going to have to go, okay, what do I do about it? Do I take a trade? Do I not take a trade? Where do I put my stop loss? And that's where that emotion stuff that Sheldon was talking about comes in, because everything up until then is all, pretty lines and seems all pragmatic. But at that point, you're about to take your finger and press the button where you put your hard-earned dollars against that trade, and that's where the emotion kicks in. Oh, I'm afraid it's going to go lower. I'm going to get stopped out. Oh, if I wait, what if it goes higher? That's called FOMO, by the way, fear of missing out. It's going to go higher without me, so I should do it now. Sheldon warned you against chasing a trade. Sniper Club is a place where all that stuff happens. That's where Sheldon is every day, along with OG Craig and Mama Sniper, Daniel Day Diedrich's on the screen, myself, Matt, Kerwin, and then a whole host of moderators. And this is what we do. We're there for those that really want to take their trading journey to the next level, to take it seriously, to get to the point from being a baby beginner little trader who's, just putting your first $1 trade against Solana or Bitcoin or something, to building it up to the point where you're on a path to be able to trade the position size that Sheldon is talking about over there. And that takes time.
Thank you
Sniper
so
Club,
much for that,
Sniper,
Bruce. Yeah.
Sniper Club gives you the community, it gives you the support. It's surrounded by mentors and people like yourself that are all on the same journey together. And it's, I've been trading for an awfully long time, well before crypto. And I got to tell you, I have never seen a community like Sniper Club to help people go from being a brand new beginner to really, really being confident, knowledgeable, and most importantly, profitable in the trading. So if that's something you want to do, to me, it's the best thing you could do.
Thank you so much for that, Bruce. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to just show everyone, because you all do have the opportunity to get Sniper Club for free for 14 days. I'm just going to share the screen with you. I have told you all before, yes, or on Tuesday, make yourselves familiar with this platform. At the top over here on the right corner, you'll see start the free trial. There you can actually have access to a 14-day free trial for all of you. And I just want to show you all here at the bottom, for those who are brand new and don't know where the school Discord is. If you go into that platform, right over here by the 4th section, you'll see Join Sniper School Community. There you will find the Sniper School community and the Discord, where I will be sending everyone after this Q&A. So this Q&A specifically, I'm just letting you all know the ground rules here is proper trading questions. All the other easier questions, I will take you guys and I'll send you to the Sniper School Discord, where there will be moderators waiting for you and answering all your questions. But just before that, I do have a few giveaways for you all by the end of it. So stay with us, because we have a few more of those bit-funded giveaways. I've got 4 that I can give away to you all. So just stay till the end, because that's when I will be giving them away to you all. Okay, just so that you all know about that. Before we go into this, I just want to introduce the team again. We have OJ Craig, we have OJ Jason, we have OJ Bruce, and we have Mama Sniper in the house. So if there are any people out there that have questions, please put up your hands. Please mute yourselves until we ask you to unmute, and we need your cameras on in order for us to bring you on. So if there's anyone that has questions, just put your hands up and we will have the team answer them for you. Don't see any questions right now. So think about it. Before we go in there, I'll just share a few little things that we have for everyone. I just want to tell you all about our opportunities that we have. So this is for the last literally 10 minutes. So I have to just tell you about this one. 10 minutes left, guys. CoinW, there's this earn deposit. So if you just literally go and open up and register, you get $50 for free. That's all you need to do. Just open up, register, put your name in. There we go. You get $50. Put in $100, get an extra $100. Put in a $200, get another $200, and get a 10% off of Sniper Club. That's like a no-brainer, guys. You literally have 10 minutes left. If I was you, I would literally go in there, go get it done. Then NordVPN. They've given you all this amazing special, 4 months free, literally for free. I mean, that's like a no-brainer as well, especially if you are struggling with getting onto platforms, getting a hold of exchanges, not being able to KYC. This is really a good thing to have in your back pocket, a very good tool to have. And then WeX. Everyone knows about WeX because he speaks about it a lot in his shows, but they do have a bonus kind of thing where you can earn up to $175 in your bonuses, but then they've got this new thing. This is daily spin. So the way that this works, you just sign up, deposit, and trade in futures, and you get a daily spin. And you can win so many prizes. I just had to tell you guys about that. And then obviously you all know about Bitfunded. So stay till the end. After our questions, I will be giving away another 4 Bitfunded. Okay, I see we have questions. Yay! Okay, so let us take Christian. I'm going to take you first. Please unmute yourself so that we can hear you.
Good
There we
morning.
go.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me
Yes.
okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
We hear you. Good to see you.
Sheldon talks about taking profits as their red and green days. In this bull market, how much profit is he taking? Is it like 1 to 2%? Is it 5 to 10? That's where I struggle of, as the bull market goes up, if it keeps going up, you lose opportunity on the back end. But if you wait too long, you lose it all. So how much is he taking?
I'll jump in on that one. It depends on your TA. So typically what you do is you mark out the chart where you're going to enter trade, but you also do a couple of things when you're marking out that chart. You mark out at what point is that trade going to be invalid if you're wrong. If I were wrong all the time, but the idea is when you're wrong, you lose a little bit of money, and when you win, you make more money. But you also mark out that chart on likely areas where the price is going to meet resistance, right? Which are often good points to take a TA. Then you have to decide how long am I in this trade for, right? So a lot of decisions you get to make up front when you're planning a trade. Is this a trade I want to take that's going to last a couple weeks to kind of move through the ebb and flow, the up and down of the chart? Or is this a trade I want to get in and out? If you decide you want to get in and out, you take your next or the second resistance place, and that's where you target for exiting the trade. It's not a set percentage, and it differs. If the market's pumping, it's a lot bigger. If the market's just kind of going up and down a little bit, you take your 1 and 2% and you'd be happy with it. So it's a kind of a subjective judgment. There's no set formula.
Yeah, just to add on that for you, Christian, it's I think it's a different strategy for each trade. It's not this is what I do. I think it depends on how strong the market is looking, how far the stochastic RSIs are, has it reached my TP point yet? There's nothing wrong with taking profits along the way and dollar cost averaging out of trades. It all just depends how confident you are in the trade. And it also depends if there's news coming out. If you're in a trade and you haven't reached your TP yet, but there's news coming out, then rather take 100%. But if you're confident the market's still going to go up, but then hold it in. So each different trade that you take has got different strategies. Depends on the risk, depends on what is happening in the market, and depends how well your TA has played out as well. And I think that will come with the experience, knowing where you are in. And for instance, a strategy for me is I always like to, on my way up, try get my initial capital out and then leave the rest in. At least it makes my trade risk-free. So there's so many different strategies that you can do about it. Or instead of taking 100% out, rather just keep on moving your stop loss up into profits. There's multiple strategies, and that's what you're going to learn along the way. Sean's going to go through quite a few strategies over the next week, and then it's up to you to choose what's your trading strategy based on that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for your question. Then I've got, I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong, but Hari, or Harry, I'm not a Harry, but Hari. I'm going to pop you on here because I asked you to just put there we go. Just unmute yourself for us, please.
Hey, how are you?
Fine, and you?
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. I just had a couple of questions. So the first one was, what's the difference between log and non-log chart? Like when I put my support and resistance lines, it comes out as different on log and different on non-log. And like what's most used across like standard and like when I want to chart, which one is recommended?
That one's easy. Just don't use logarithmic. So you generally use logarithmic on very long time frames, like if you're looking at Bitcoin from day dot. But easy answer, don't use logarithmic. But great question, because I think people get confused. Very good question. And if you want to understand what the difference is, Google it, it'll explain. But we never use log.
Yep, okay. So like we're like pretty much most of the traders just use non-log, correct?
We
Okay,
don't,
perfect.
we and no one, virtually no one on crypto YouTube uses logarithmic. So always no log. It's a
okay,
simple,
makes
simple
sense.
answer.
Now,
Great.
two more questions. So the second one was,
Ooh, you've
I
only
keep
got
hearing-
one.
Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry, we
sorry.
only have one question.
Okay, one more
One
question.
question per person.
Okay, yes, thank you.
You can ask
now,
these questions at the school's Discord. At the end of this, there will be a school Discord AMA, there will be a stage, and there will be mods there answering all these kind of questions for you. We only have one per, otherwise it's going to carry on for very long.
okay. Oh,
Okay, thank you so very much. Really
you.
appreciate your time, eh? Thank you.
Thanks, Ari.
Okay, Montreal Green, I'm going to put you on. Just unmute yourself for us, please.
Hello.
There we go.
I just had a quick
morning.
question. When I am doing trades, I see that my unrealized percentage is up to a certain amount, and when I see it, I want to close it out at that. But then when I go into my order history, it shows that when I do close it, the percentage is lower than it was showing. Do you guys have a secret on how to do it a better way? Do I like sell a
Yeah.
certain amount and actually do it, or do I
Yeah.
just press close? Like that's not the right way to do it.
No, Montre, you're living in the world of the exchanges. What's the word I'm trying to think? Emotional manipulation. The
Yeah.
that unrealized profit percentage is they're taking your leverage and multiplying it times the amount you put into it, multiplying that and giving you a false sense of how much you've actually made, right?
Okay.
The number that's accurate in there is your unrealized profit, not the percentage number, but the dollar number. And the only ones you
Okay.
really need to pay attention to are position size, right? And your leverage, right? And your risk, your stop loss. So ignore that percentage unrealized profit. The other part of that is got to
Okay.
remember is that the word unrealized is very accurate. It ain't your
Yeah.
money yet, right? So until you take your profit, and as OG Craig always says, if you don't, someone else will. Very important that you guys learn to get over the emotional, oh my God, what if this goes higher and I miss out on more profit, and actually be taking profit along the way, like Mama Snipe was talking about.
And just to
Okay.
add
So
on
when
to
you
that,
guys,
just to add on to that, Montri, you need to realize that once you've closed the trade, there's a lot of things that go into effect. They deduct the fees off of that, they deduct the interest off of that, they deduct all of that off of that, which will change the outcome of what you're going to receive.
Yeah.
And also, you must remember, just because the token is at that specific price at that point that you sold it, you're not getting it for that price. You're getting it at a price that is available on the selling market. So if somebody wants to sell it, they've put a limit order in to sell it at a lower level, and there's not enough volume at that price that you want to sell it, they're going to take, if you do a market sell, they're going to give you the best price that's available on the market. So you're not getting that exact
Okay.
price that you're selling it for, that it's giving you at that point. So if you did a market sale, you can actually go into your trade history, and it will show you the hundreds of orders. Well, if there was, depends on how big your trade was, but it will give you the amount of sale orders they had to take to be able to sell your position. So if it took 20 positions from the order book, which was 20 open buyers that was willing to buy at that point, they would have taken 20 of those buy orders. And if you go into a trade history, you'll physically see which people's trades took and at which price was available at that point. So that's where you're also getting the differences from. Yeah.
And
so when you guys,
sorry,
go ahead.
There's different fees for a market buy, a market sell versus a limit buy and a limit sell. There's a different fee structure there too.
Yes. Okay. So for you guys, do you sell it in your exchange? You go and set up the price that you want to sell it at and then click sell, or do you just press close?
Depends. It depends. I mean, if the market's tanking, we just close it. But if
Okay.
if we have a TP and we're going to bed at night, we will set the TP as a limit. That's the price we wanted at. Then we'll most likely get that price when it hits the TP. But if we're sitting and watching the charts and something goes wrong, or we're looking and saying, okay, no, this isn't right, or we're starting to break structures, then your market close. But generally, if we have a TP, we set our limit of where we want to sell it at. Yes. So again, it depends on no trade is exactly the same. No trade is duplicated exactly the same. You have to check each trade and make a strategy and decision based on each trade. And obviously what's happening on the market, TA doesn't always play out 100% to what we are expecting, because there's lots of external factors. There's news, there's everything happening. Things just happen. So sometimes you just have to market, execute. Or maybe the trade is taking slow. It hasn't reached a TP yet. And we see another token that's breaking structure and is looking stronger. We rather want to take that one. Then you will market, execute, and get out of that trade to get into the next trade. But if you're happy to remain in your trade, then we set a TP limit, and you set your price range where you want it to sell at. But again, if you're going to set a market limit, it's going to do exactly the same. When it hits that price, it's going to sell at whatever's available on the market. But if you set a limit order, it means only sell at this price. It will sell at that price, but the only problem with that is if there's not enough orders at that price, it might not sell your whole entire position. It will only sell a part of your position that is on the market to be able to close. So there's pros and cons to both. You know, to market, just to make it simple for you, a market sale or market buy gets you the quantity that you want, and you get your order straight away, but at random prices. You don't know what you're getting because you're buying on the market or you're selling on the market. If you set a limit order for a buy or a sell, you get the price that you want, but you might not get the quantity that you want because there might not be enough volume. So always just make sure that whatever trade you're taking, you are on an exchange that's got a decent amount of volume in the token that you are in, and that will ensure that your positions are fully closed and opened at the prices that you want.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks, Banter.
Okay, I just want to address one thing before we carry on with the questions. I see there's a lot of people asking about the Coin W bonuses. So I did go and check it out. I double rechecked everything to make sure that you do get that $50, and you do. They distribute it every Monday of every week. So if you already did it right now, you'll only receive it next week, Monday, and it will be in your rewards platform on Coin W. You'll find it there. Okay, just letting everyone know it is there. I tested it with lots of people to make sure that it does work. Okay, so Mauricio, you are up next. I'm going to bring you on. Just remember to unmute yourself so that we can hear you. Just unmute yourself.
Am I on?
There we go.
All right. All right. Thanks for having me. So I would like to know if how many coins how many tokens you think you would be advisable to be watching before going onto a trade, because there's so many tokens, and also Bitcoin and the father or mother or the one that pulls the market, and if you I'm noticing that sometimes it's kind of confusing, and then also for you to have the patience to know the right time to get into a token. It seems to be you need to focus. So I'd like to listen to you. How many tokens you normally watch before taking a trade?
So
does it make sense?
Yeah. So I think, it comes with experience. You start finding the right project that you like to watch. And if you watch Sheldon's show every day, he goes through those tokens and gives you a good idea of what tokens we're watching. And generally, I've got about 10 to 15 tokens that I watch on my trading view. And remember, they're all going to give you different trades at different times. So it's about charting the tokens, setting alarms on your trading view. And as and when a trade presents itself, I don't today go, okay, I'm going to trade that token. I'll look at all the tokens, I'll chart all the tokens, and whichever one is presenting a trade for that day is the trade that I will take. If none of my tokens are showing any trades for the day, I'll then open up to TradingView and go look at other tokens that I haven't looked at in a while. I'll try and find the chart that is breaking a structure. What you're going to learn over the next couple of sessions and weeks is the 4-point system, how Sheldon does a check on when you should take a trade on a token. So you're still going to learn about, I'm not going to get into that now on how we decide, because you're going to learn that in the next week. But we put these strategies that Sheldon's going to give you, we put them on the tokens, and whichever token is showing us signs of that first is the trades that we will take.
All right.
Thank you for your question. Then I've got Michael. I'm going to pop you on. I hope it's a Michael. Hi, Michael. I'm just going to ask you to unmute for us, please. There we go. Brilliant.
Hi. Good afternoon. Over here it's afternoon.
Hey, Michael.
Thank you for the show to start with. It's a good show so far. Very enjoyable. My question is, when are we going to use multiple time frames to look at the RSIs, for instance? Because in one of the videos, I think Sheldon went from the 4-hour to the 8-hour to verify what the best entity would be. So can maybe someone elaborate on that, please?
Yeah, so Sheldon's going to get into I think you'll have it by the end of the course, where Sheldon's going to discuss the different time frames, also we discussed that in quite extent on Club. So I think, join Sniper Club, you've got a 14-day trial there where you can ask these questions. We're going to show you. I've addressed it on Club with the team. So there's recordings on Club. You can go watch my recordings from a couple of weeks ago, where I actually physically go in and show time frames and how we trade each time frames and how you draw the trend line and how you use each time frame to integrate into your time frame that you want to trade. So there's a lot of importance about that. It's a whole lesson on its own. It's not just an easy explain. But if you, I think just register onto the Sniper Club. Like we said, you do have the 14-day free trial. There's a section, Bruce can explain where it is, where all the recordings are. And I did a 2-hour session on time frames. Hey, Bruce, about couple of weeks ago, I did a whole 2-hour live session teaching our club on time frames and all of that. So just go watch that recording. It will really, really add value to you, and you'll have a better understanding.
Okay, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Thank you for your question.
Yep.
Then I've got Mia. Mia, I'm going to bring you on. Get some woman energy in here. Just please unmute for us.
Unmute. There you go. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Okay, so I'm an incredibly fearful trader. And obviously, like on the 4-hour chart, we're seeing a lot of coins break trend. And I'm afraid to just jump in. And I'm kind of waiting for that retrace back to the trend line. But with a lot of the coins, it's not actually happening. So I'm getting a bit of FOMO in the sense that, maybe my fear is getting in the way. So do you perhaps have some just advice in terms of, how I can approach these trades to keep my risk sort of at a minimum, but still get into the trades at a good time? Because I keep hearing all the banter guys going like, once it rips, and then you're too late. So yeah, I don't want to miss out, but also just want to be careful about it.
Oh, you're talking about OG Craig's and my favorite subject.
Sorry, my cat's also joined us.
No, we love you. When you're in Sniper Club, you're going to see half our people have dogs and cats and on their laps all the time. They're kind of like our trading partners, and I get jealous.
We need a support system.
Yeah, we do. So a couple things. You have both a technical question and a psychological question. FYI, we have a Zoom session every week that we run on trading psychology. Just so you know, the emotions and the fears and the hesitation, every single one of us experience that. And it's only by really facing that in the mirror, putting into practice with actually your trades, and then working together as a community that you eventually get over it. And actually, you never really get over it. You just get more used to it. Because I got to tell you, when I take a trade today, I have that same like, oh, what if I'm wrong? Oh, what if it goes? It's there, but I've had that thing 20,000 times, so it just doesn't bug me anymore, right? But the emotion's still there, and you're going to learn to deal with it. And you're also going to learn how to take trades because the chart says so, independent of what your emotions say, right? So, for example, you mentioned, Joe, take a trade on the break of that trend. That is a classic entry that Sheldon's like a master at, right? But you also said wait for the retest, right? But I'm afraid it won't, right? So entering on the retest, great way to enter a trade, but you do have to be patient, right? And willing to accept that it just might not retrace, right? If it doesn't, see you later, move on to the next one, and you'll be fine. But you have to practice another emotion, which is hard, which is patience, right? I would say all pro traders will say that patience is probably one of your biggest attributes that you need to learn psychologically, because we spend an awful lot of time going, ooh, 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 and then just step back, let the chart come to you. If you're ever on a Zoom with me when I'm doing trading, you're gonna hear me say the words "come to Papa," right? Got to set up, like where it's going. But if it doesn't come down to the price I want to get that at, to the zone, right, we won't take the trade. So I'll be sitting there going, come to Papa, right? That's me verbally reminding myself to be patient.
Just to add on that,
Thank you so much.
quickly, just to add on you must remember the market doesn't go up in a straight line.
Yeah.
It doesn't go up in a straight line. There are always pullbacks. It goes up, it comes down, it goes up. Even if you go back on history in the last bull market, one thing that I learned a lot is going back on history and seeing what happened in the last bull market. So it all depends on what time frame you are trading as well. Go to that time frame on the token you're trading, go back to its history, go do a replay, you can remove the chart and then you push play and then it actually plays out for you. Draw your trend lines, you see how it breaks out. It always comes back down to test it, even if it's on a smaller time frame. What goes up must come down. So I think it's that whole patience thing. But another strategy I have is FOMO, we all had FOMO. We were all in that position when we first started trading, and it's definitely an emotion you've got to try and curb because FOMO can get you hurt. That's why I have a few tokens that I chart on a daily basis. And if I've missed a token and it's gone, there's always another token that hasn't gone yet. So instead of getting FOMO about this token, accept it. Say, okay, I missed that one. It's fine. I've learned my lesson. Go find another token that hasn't broken, because I'm telling you now, if tokens are busy breaking structure and are about to go, there are other tokens getting ready to break structure and go as well. So just spend time and build yourself a database of tokens that you can just keep on popping through. And if you've missed one, there's another one. I've never not once gone and checked and not found one token that hasn't popped yet. There's some token lagging. There is another trade out there. Go and find it.
I want to add one more thing for you, Mia, is that knowing that this is an emotional journey, right? Part of it. And you heard Sheldon talk about that back in the day he lost $400, and now on this particular week he was down, what was it, 40,000 or whatever, right? Do you hear that there was no difference in his voice, right? What once upon a time losing $400 on a trade was huge, right? But over years, simply the size of the bag he's trading with has gotten bigger, and most importantly, he's gotten comfortable with that. You're not at that place yet. It's cool, right? Start off with $1, right? Right? Take $1, lose a little bit. You're in a phase where you're learning right now. You're not trying to make money yet. You're not ready unless you're be a more advanced trader. So right now, just practice with small amounts of money, and what'll happen is once you got a track record, and you'll know you have a track record because you got a journal to prove it, right? Your wins are bigger, your losses are smaller. You're starting to win pretty consistently, right? Then turning the dial up from a $1 trade to a $5 trade to a $10 trade is easy, right? Just don't push it. It'll happen very naturally, okay?
Thank you, guys. That's really lovely advice.
Thanks,
Thank
Mia.
you, Mia.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I'm going to just take 3 more questions before we go on to the bid funded giveaway, and then I'm going to send you all to the school AMA to ask any other questions that you have. Remember that next week we are here again on Tuesday and Thursday, and we will be taking questions again. So don't worry, you will get time to ask questions. So we're only going to take 3 more before we scoot off to the bid funded giveaways and then AMAs. Vincent, I'm going to bring you on. Just remember to unmute yourself. There you go.
Can't hear.
Can't hear you.
We can't hear you, bro. Your mic or something's not working.
Not working.
No,
No.
maybe Vincent, maybe just type your question in the chat for us. We'll bring up somebody else, and then we will ask the mods to quickly send us your question, if you don't mind. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Technology.
Siobhan, I'm going to bring you on. Vincent, please just ask your question in the chat, and we'll keep an eye open for that. Hi, Siobhan. Also,
You have to
unmute.
unmute.
unmute yourself,
Unmute.
sir, please. There
Can
we
you hear
go.
me?
Yeah.
There we
Okay.
go.
Good morning. Thanks for your time.
Hello.
My question is about liquidation. When I've entered some trades and came very close to my liquidation price, and just a fear of getting liquidated, I've added to my volume so I don't get liquidated. Is that a smart thing to do, or should I just allow my my judgment to take place? Because a lot of time it's worked for me and a lot of times worked against me, so I just wasn't sure how that works.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit 2 points. Okay. Liquidation level on a trade is the bank, the exchange saying, hey, we're not going to let you lose our money. You can lose your money, but we're not going to lose our money, and you're putting our money at risk. So we're going to take your money back away from you, right? Close the trade, keep our money, and whatever happens to you is on your own. That's actually what's happening, okay? Because when you do a leverage trade, they put some money on the line too. 1x, 3x, 5x, 10x, whatever. And they're on, they will never let you themselves lose money. The house always wins. Okay, that's thing 1. Thing 2 is Sheldon teaches you how to trade with a stop loss, right? The stop loss is designed to do exactly what it says. Is like you have an idea of what a trade is going to be, right? And you're going to enter here and you want price to go up. So it's you got a long open, right? There's some place on your chart where your idea was just wrong, right? It's not you're not bad, but the market just did what the market did and price went in the opposite direction. You want to get out of there as fast as possible to make sure your losses are as small as possible. Because the equation for profitability is your losses are small and your wins are big. And if you're 50-50 win-loss record, that's profitable still. Okay. Now, we don't think anybody who's a newer trader should be trading without a stop loss. Just set it straight. In Sniper Club, part of our agreement is we will never teach people how to do that. We always teach with it. Because we know though that sometimes price doesn't go bump up where we want it is, we sometimes will leave a bigger space for price to muck around before it starts heading in our direction, right? But I would implore you always at some point under trend line, under recent wick, where Sheldon teaches you in sniper school, put a stop loss there. That's there to protect you. Some people do that thing where they add on to a trade to lower the liquidation level. The effect is it lowers your average entry and it puts more money at risk. You ever heard the term throwing good money after bad? Right? 90% of the time, you're throwing good money after bad. You're just digging a deeper and deeper hole. Okay? Not saying there aren't techniques to do there, but generally, I just recommend don't do it. There are ways of building a trade. Just put a stop loss in, take your loss early, make that loss small, move on to the next trade. Because once you get underwater in a trade, there are only 3 things you can do. Okay? All right? Thing 1 is cut the loss take it like a man, move on to the next trade. Thing two is throw more money at it, right? In hopes that price turns around and save you. And the odds are very much against you on that, okay? Statistically. And third is pray, right? there are no ways out of it. So the suggestion is just don't get yourself in that situation in the first place. Okay, brother?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Siobhan,
Yep.
just to add on that quickly, I think that's a good explanation. But I've been there, done that. I've got experience in that. I've tried to save trades, and it was a lot of my learning lessons a few years ago, going through all these emotions as well, and liquidation levels, and not putting stop losses in and everything like that. And number one, stop loss is key. I know they irritate people, but you know what they do? They do save you in a lot of situations. And it's also if you're getting close to your liquidation level and you got more capital and you feed that capital into that trade, they are going to take a lot of that money that you put into there first before they even add it onto your position. So the percentage, your liquidation level moves down by less than 1%. All right. Whereas I would rather, we don't want you to be in that situation again, because we want you to get stopped out next time rather. But if ever you're stuck in that situation again, there's two things. Rather close a trade, take your loss, use that capital you were going to feed into that trade and open get it into a brand new trade, which will give you, depending on how high your leverage is, but it will give you a 5 to 6% gap rather than a 0.1 or a 1% gap, and they'll end up taking all your money and then you don't have money to open another trade with. At least you keep that capital for another trade. Another way that you can do it is, I remember in 2020, Sheldon and I opened up a trade, and it was an XRP. It was when XRP, something happened on XRP, and it tanked in the last bull market, and we didn't have a stop loss. And I remember Sheldon phoning me at 2:00 in the morning saying, and you know, we had put a lot of money into this trade. And I remember him saying, Mom, we're getting close to our liquidation level. This is going to go and everything. So I said to him, okay, let me jump on. And we jumped on and we played this trade together. And it literally came so close to our liquidation level. Instead of putting money into that trade, we started selling off that trade 10% by 10% by 10%. I'm not saying it's a strategy you should do. You rather one must get stopped out, but rather close a little bit of your trade, because if you close a little bit of your trade at that point, your liquidation will probably go down the same amount as you putting money into the trade. And if it drops more, close another little 10%. And if it keeps on dropping, just keep on closing 10%. And then if it's gone to your liquidation level, at least you've already closed out and you've saved a couple of dollars or whatever by closing the trade little bit by little bit. But instead of feeding money in to bring your liquidation level lower, rather sell off your position little bit by little bit at that stage, not closing the whole position, but just taking 10% off the table. And then you'll just see that liquidation level drops a little bit, not much, but it drops a little bit rather than putting money into that trade. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ron, I just want to, there was a group of traders that used to trade together, and they've actually retired now. And their win rate, I think, was 15 or 20%. So they were winning 15 to 20% trades out of 100. But because their risk management was so tight, at the end of the day, they made money. So that's what it's all about. Your risk management is the most important thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you so much for that question, Siobhan. That opened up a lot of things for everyone.
Yep.
So thank you so much.
Right.
And then Patrick, I'm going to bring you on. Please just remember to unmute yourself so that we can hear you. Thank you.
Hi, good day to all the panel.
Hi, Patrick.
Hey, Patrick.
I am currently in a trade and I am up 30%.
Nice.
Now, does it make sense for me to, while I'm in the trade, to add leverage or come out of the trade on the retest and then come back in with leverage? What do you all advise?
Well, is this trade already on a perpetual and futures exchange, or is it in spot right now?
Yes.
I'm sorry, say again?
Futures.
Futures.
Futures. It is futures. So I don't know
Patrick,
if you're
it's
already.
quite hard. Yeah, it's quite hard because we don't know your trade. We don't know where your entry
Yeah.
is. We don't know where your liquidation levels is. We don't know where your stop. It's very difficult to say that because each trade is individual. Again, if I can
Yeah.
give you advice, join the 14-day club trial.
Yeah.
Go to the challenge that Sheldon is teaching everybody, which is sort of the strategy that you're talking about now, about increasing your leverage because you're in profit. And all of that. So Sheldon teaches that because he's you actually have to there's a technique behind it. So it needs to make a higher high and then a higher low again.
Oh, yeah.
And then it needs to continue up first. And then you can increase your leverage, but you got to make sure that your entry price doesn't go above a certain level as well.
Yep.
And you got to make sure that your stop loss is still above that level so that if you're increasing your leverage, your stop loss is still going to stop you out in profit. So there's a whole technique to it on how to do that. So yes, it can be done, but it's very difficult for you to say, yes, go do it now, because we actually don't know what your chart looks like and where you got in and all of that. It's very, very difficult. But Patrick, are you in Sniper Club or not yet?
Yes, I'm in the club. I joined yesterday actually.
Oh, cool.
I did all the courses and so on. And so I'm just in the
I
process
think
of.
there is recordings. Bruce, is there recordings of the strategy that Sheldon
Yeah.
has shown him to do that he can go and watch, just so that
Yeah,
you can
if
get
you-
an idea of how it's done. But again, it's for experienced traders, this technique. It's not for new traders, so just be very careful with it.
Yeah.
Sniper says right
If you look at the 10x challenge section under Sheldon's section in Discord, at the very beginning, there are videos on the methodology. And then if you go into the library, there are a whole lot of videos on the mechanics of adding on to a trade. And then when you're on a trading Zoom, right, with any of us, just ask, right? Just we're happy to walk through it with you.
Thanks a lot.
Patrick,
You're welcome.
It's permanently available on the Discord, so they'll all be able to point you in the right direction, Patrick.
Yeah.
Patrick, one more thing before we leave. Sheldon spoke around emotions. So, you don't want to trade based on emotions. So the important thing there is, and I do it myself, I write down my plan before I enter a trade. So my plan needs to incorporate where do I enter, what my stop loss is going to be, where I'm going to add to the trade if I need to add to the trade, and where I'm going to take profit. I write it down. So it's all about planning and stick to the plan. And
Plan your
Sheldon,
trade and trade your plan.
that's it. That's it. The problem is emotions. You start seeing, whoa, candles are just going up. You know what? If I can just sell here and buy back lower and wait for the trade to go back up again, I'll make more money. That's all emotion speaking. So we have to be careful of that.
And Patrick, have you taken any profit on the trade yet?
No, I haven't.
Wait, what
It's up
token is it?
30%. I haven't taken any profits, no.
What token is it? I'm curious.
Engine.
INJ, injective?
Yes.
I'm in that trade right now, my friend. Actually, we're going to take a look. All right, you ready?
There's engine and there's injective. Which one is it?
Which is injective?
INJ.
INJ?
Yes.
Okay, let's take a look.
I came in at around 19.
Hang on a second. There's my INJ trade. So where did you enter? Ooh, I like this. I just woke up
Around 19.00.
19.00?
Yeah.
You entered up here. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. You entered right there. I see it. Where I put my risk line. So yeah, right now, by the way, that is at a beautiful TP point, right? So if your plan was to basically capture this range, right, I would be taking profit on this thing right now, right? Now, it's running into a trend line. And this is the way you do it. Running into a trend line. It kind of broke the trend testing, but right in front of that is a lot of resistance. See all that resistance right there you're going to learn about, right? So there's going to be a battle that goes on over here, depending on what Bitcoin does. So if your plan was to get into the trade and take profit, it is wonderful right now. If your plan is also to let this thing, and again, this is where plans come in, to push up, retest, and then capture that, then
Yeah.
what you would do is you would let it break through that resistance level, right? Let it retest if it does. And then what you do is, according to Mama Sniper, which is exactly the way we do it, you draw a trend line as it starts to pull back. When it
Yes.
breaks that trend line heading back up, that's typically where you would add leverage or add position size to the trade.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, you're welcome. You're
Okay.
Thank you so much for that. Okay, so I do have Vincent's question here for the team, if you all don't mind, and then we are going to
We're
take.
ready. We're ready. We're ready.
Okay, it's a question. It's a question. So my
It's for OG Jason. OG Jason's gonna take this one.
Are you ready? My question to the group was, if you have $10,000 trading account, would you ever use the whole entire 10,000 on one particular trade? I've been trading for the last 7 years, and the majority of my trades have been very profitable, anywhere between 10 and 100%. And I feel that I have developed an excellent strategy, de-risking myself, setting limit orders and supports and trading from there. Just curious if you would ever suggest doing that, going in with a whole $10,000 on one trade.
No.
If you've been doing
Why?
it for 7
Because
years.
there's risk. And I'm going to relate to Luna. Let's talk about Luna. 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, yes. Luna collapsed, went to zero. Now, just imagine you put all 10,000 into a coin and a project collapses overnight, Black Swan event, and your 10,000 goes to zero. How are you going to feel about it? So we always encourage you to maybe trade over 5 coins, so minimum. And that is all about your risk management.
So I hope that answers your question,
And
Vincent.
also, just to add on that quickly as well, your strategy seems to be working really well for you. You know what?
Yeah.
If it's working for you, stick to it. It's amazing what you're doing. I wouldn't go and change it much. Your strategy is working very well. To get 10 to 100% on each of your trades is really, really great. And you don't have to risk all your money to make that to make the money at all. We don't do that. We don't risk all our money in trading. It really is just too risky. You know, I think the more experience you get in trading, it's doable and it is possible. And you know, I think it also depends on what is happening in the market and what is going on. But I think you seem quite content, and I think you're doing the right thing, Vincent. And I think stick to that. Stick to your. It's that whole thing. Plan your trade and trade your plan, and that's what you've been doing. So it's really well done. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
and now we have come to the end. Okay, yeah.
Go ahead, go.
We have come to the end, and I've got 4 bit-funded giveaways to give you all today. And how we're going to do that is I'm going to ask you one question. This is literally going to test your listening skills to see if you can hear what I'm saying and answer within my question, not just randomly answer. So I'm going to ask you a question on the chat, answer my question in my question box. The first 4 to answer this question correctly will win a bit funded. I will then message you guys directly, the giveaways email. You email me, and voila, Bob's your uncle, you will receive one. So the question.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Your question box?
So in the meeting chat, I will ask a question to everyone. Will come up, and they can reply. They can respond to my question. Yes. So in my question, where I ask, because that's where I'll be choosing the top 4 correct answers. Okay. Are you guys ready? I'm going to ask the question, give you like a second to think about it, and I'm going to pop it in the chat. You ready? What did Sheldon call support and resistance? Give it 2 seconds. It's coming into the chat. What did Sheldon call support, and
Is
resistance.
that when he first started?
Yep, when he first started.
Okay.
Here we've got one. Cool. We have Lakshman. I don't know how to say your name. I will be responding to you. We have Will. We have Love Fatima. And we have, let's just check. I don't want to rob anyone here. And we have, I don't know how to say this name. I'm going to say it wrong, so I do apologize. It is
Just
Yetta.
spell it.
I don't know.
Spell it out.
Kaberuka. Kaberika. I will message you directly. Please email. Please email giveaways at cryptobanter.com and we will give you your bid funded. Thank you everyone so much for being here today. And don't forget, we will be back next week, Tuesday, next week, Thursday, with Sheldon and more giveaways as well. Remember, you'll only get the giveaways at the end. Have a beautiful day, guys. Thank you all so much for coming through and spending the day with us.
Is there a mod thing going on now?
I
Jiv?
just opened it. I just opened it, Bruce. So we're
Oh,
all good to
yes.
go.
Before I forget, sorry, guys. Before I forget, Luba and Pyra J, they are here. They are opening up a stage in the school Discord. Remember, I showed you the platform at the bottom. You go and join the Discord if you haven't joined them yet. They are opening up a stage right now, an AMA. Ask me anything. So you can go there right now. You can go sit with them and go ask them anything you like, especially for those that didn't get to get their questions out tonight. Thank you all so much for coming. I really appreciate all
Thanks,
of your
everybody.
faces.
Everybody
Thank
on
you.
Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.